What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be a curator today. Guys, just hanging out down here in the museum on a Sunday. Got the coffee on, guys, and I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of processing in the last couple days. And now that we have Mego and Marvel back together again, renewed, I should say, what are the possibilities now that we have some of our old Mego Marvel classic figures back in our collections now? Now that we know that with Mego, there's a lot there are a lot of possibilities out there, especially now that we have Marvel figures and characters with, about 16 more characters, Marvel characters, new and classic or vintage characters on the way. What else can we expect from Mego? Or better yet, what do we want from Mego? What would we like to see Mego make? And I mean, from a classic standpoint, bring back some of the classics. Have you processed that yet? I've been processing that, especially now we have, Marvel back in our collection from Mego. The possibilities are crazy. What could we expect? What would I like? So I'll just start with me. There's a few. So I added a few here for this show, and we'll start with. Here we go. Let's start with the Teen Titans. Okay, this is a FTC, a beautiful FTC version of the Mego Teen Titan figure, Kid Flash, and as I look at Kid Flash, beautifully done. Really, FTC captured all of those beautiful qualities, all the way down to his lightning bolt, which is made of that special material, embossed material on his chest. I would like to see Mego bring back the Teen Titans. I would like to see all of them. They were rare back in the mid 70s. I believe it came out in 76 or 77. One of those. Leave your comments in the section the section below, right underneath this video, guys. What would you like to see? The Teen Titans is definitely one. I have my Wonder Girl here. Another beautifully reproduction here by FTC. And I have the only one I can't find. He's in here somewhere, and I want to say it's Speedy, but I got a Aqualad here as well. I would like to see Mego bring back the Teen Titans. Is it possible? Can it be done? Well, I believe that Mego has the DC licensing rights. What's stopping them? So, what are the possibilities, guys? What would you like to see Mego bring back? Me personally, like I said, the Teen Titans was one that I didn't have as a kid, didn't know that they existed as a kid. I didn't know about the Teen Titan Mego figures until much later in life, probably my late teens. I was in a comic book shop and I saw these Teen Titan Mego figures and was like, why didn't I never knew about these? These are fantastic. You know, and they were on that, let's bring them back, bring Aqualad back in here again. They were on that smaller body, teenage body that Mego put out. And it came with the, you know, I thought I loved the gloves and the outfits and the head sculpts. So just beautifully done. Beautifully done. Didn't know about them. And at the same time, wish I had them. So that is one that comes to mind for me. The Teen Titans. Another oldie but goodie or classic, and I'm really curious about this one, are the Mad Monster series. And let's get you one here. Let's bring one up here. The Dreadful Dracula. You guys remember these guys. This is another Figures Toy Company reproduction of the Mad Monster series. Beautifully done. Are they super accurate? Probably not down to the last thread or paint job or whatever, but I think Figures Toy Company did a really good job at giving us a reproduction of some of our childhood favorites that Mego brought out in the 1970s. My question is to you guys, would you like to see the Mad Monster series brought back by Mego? Is that possible? Is that doable? Who has the licensing rights to that? I don't know. What I do know is that I would love to see it. Mego has been really working their magic as of late. Like I said, their biggest magic act to date is the Disney Marvel 4-pack set. So Mego got me excited about this, but they got me excited about the possibilities of, as I sit this down, I want to drop this. They got me excited about the possibilities of what else could they do? What else could we see? What else is possible out there as far as classics, vintage classics? And I said the Monster series because these are a lot of figures that I actually had as a kid. And I guess I'm holding up the human werewolf here. My brother had him. I had the horrible mummy. So let me grab him. I had the horrible mummy. And when I saw that FTC had remade this, I had to get it. I tell this story a lot about this horrible mummy, but I'll tell it again. This was in the late 1970s, maybe around 78, 79. I was at a store called Zehrs, and they had a whole bin of loose Mego figures. They were all just stacked on top of each other. And being a kid, I saw the horrible mummy for the very first time, and I wanted him, and didn't get him this particular day, but this was the best story of all time. And in my childlike mind, I said, you know, if I could, maybe cause my parents wouldn't let me have them that particular day. So what I did was, I said, I'm gonna bury this guy as far as I can beneath all the rest of these figures, Mego figures, and hopefully when I come back to Zehrs, being an 8 or 9 year old, not knowing whenever I was going to get back to Zehrs. This is my thinking though, guys. I said, I'll bury him so far down, he'll still be there when I get back. And then I can, you know, I can ask my parents all over again. You see, everything had to work perfectly for this scheme of mine to even work. But That's a child for you, right? That was my childlike thinking, that I was going to do all of this and he was still going to be there. The horrible mummy was still going to be there, and my parents would buy him for me and I would live happily ever after. That was not the case. I think eventually I did get him, but this was the first time I actually saw him. And to have him now as a FTC version of him, to have the FTC version of the horrible mummy, is fantastic, because they did a great job on this figure. Is he as accurate? You know, Mego enthusiasts, Mego historians would know best. But this is pretty close. You know, is it right on the money? Probably not, but it's pretty close. But I would like to see, but you know who could get it close? Mego. Because Mego is the one that actually came out with this figure, created this figure. Would you like to see the horrible mummy again? These horrible, these mad monsters, I should say. Would you like to see these figures again? Is it possible? That's something else. I mean, you know, we're talking fantasy now, but Mego has made some of these fantasies a reality. They've made, I'll pick this up again. This was a fantasy in 2018 when Mego first returned. You know, I know a lot of collectors that said this is the only thing they wanted from Mego when Mego returned, was to bring the Marvel characters from their childhood back so they could have them in pristine condition, cherry mint condition, and to be able to reconnect with their childhood again through these figures. And Mego did that. It took a while, but they did. So it's not all fantasy. Some of these things we're talking about today can be reality. It's a possibility. I believe in the Hail Mary. I believe in the last second shot. It's doable. As long as Mego is in business, there's a possibility that Mego can go back down memory lane and resurrect, if you will, some of these classics. I'm not talking about all the classics. You know, I know there's some that need to stay buried, like the Little Rascals, the Waltons, or I mean, and listen, get on me in the comment section for all you Walton fans and Little Rascal fans, or Super Knights, you know, or World's Greatest Super Knights and World Greatest Pirates fans of these figures and characters. Get on me in the comment section right underneath this video if you would like to see those, you know, brought back. Who wouldn't? I don't have anything like that near me right now, or I would hold one up to show you. But listen, those weren't bad. I don't believe I had any of those. The Super Knights, the World's Greatest Super Pirates. I didn't have any of those. I definitely didn't have the Little Rascals, and I definitely didn't have the Waltons. So I didn't have any of those figures as a kid growing up in the 1970s. I love the shows. My parents they were strictly superhero parents. I mean, Superman, Batman, Robin, those Spider-Man, those were the staples in my household as far as action figures. And Mego being as inexpensive as they were back in the 1970s, you know, that's where I connected with those figures, because they were cheap enough for my parents to afford. So we got those for Christmases and, you know, and birthdays. But the possibilities are endless as far as what Mego can bring back. And guys, hopefully this video makes it to somebody in Mego headquarters. and they can, this might start the ball rolling. We would like to think that, anything's possible, guys. Hail Mary, right? Can we see a resurrection of the horrible Mummy, the Mad Monster series, or the Teen Titans? Is that possible? Is that doable? We don't know. We hope. We're praying, So we're lighting candles. So I mean, anything is doable now, though, especially now that we have Marvel back in the game. Now that we have Marvel characters back in the game, we can expect to see, or expect to see some other surprises. We, like I said earlier in our discussion, we kind of have a great idea of what's coming out now, what Mego has on tap as far as characters and waves, because they do a great job at putting out what's coming out. Sometimes the stuff, some of these figures don't make it, to production, I guess. A lot of times, though, we do get these figures. So we have a good idea of what's coming out from Mego, but nothing by way of a classic, outside of what we got with the new Marvel lineup. But there is another classic that I would like to see Mego bring back out. The Fist Fighters. Now, understand this, okay? We're asking Mego to redo the 26 point of articulation bandless body in regards to this Fist Fighters. This is the FTC Batman Fist Fighter. I have a few others here, but Batman was one of my favorites. I didn't have any of the Fist Fighters as a kid. Once again, I didn't know about the Fist Fighters. More likely, my parents didn't know about the Fist Fighters either. So I got the regular Mego Batman. Wish I knew about these Fist Fighters. Would you like to see Mego resurrect the Fist Fighters? Batman, Superman, the Joker, some of the bad guys. I know they weren't very popular back then, but I'm sure if Mego brought them out, people would buy them. And that's a whole different topic of discussion. Which one should Mego produce? Should they leave the villains off the roster this time? Just give us the superheroes. But the superheroes have to have somebody to fight, right? So, would you like to see Mego bring out the Fist Fighters? And here's my Superman Fist Fighter. FTC give FTC a lot of credit. They reconnected us at a time when Mego was not around. They hadn't came back yet. They weren't on the landscape yet. But FTC was. And FTC was giving us the Fist Fighters, the Teen Titans, the Mad Monster series. They were giving us all of our childhood favorites, and they were doing them beautifully. They were replicating these figures beautifully. And I believe any collector around that time period, 2014, 2015, 2012, and go a little further back for the Mad Monster series, were purchasing FTC figures that reminded them of their childhood. I was one of them. So, and I know people are going to say, well, M.I.B, that's just it. FTC already did that. Why would we want Mego to do it? Why would we need another fist fighter, Superman, if we already have him from FTC? And my pushback would be because Mego hasn't done it yet. Yes, Mego did it in the 1970s. That's why we want it back. That's why we want, as I pick this up again, that's what we wanted Spider-Man and the Lizard and the Green Goblin back. Sure, Mego did it already. We wanted updated versions, though. Pristine versions. So that would be my pushback. Yes, we've seen all this before. Why not again? Why not bring back the fist fighters? If you want to see the fist fighters, leave your comments, yes or no comment right underneath this video in the comment section, guys. Let's take a poll. Do you want to see the fist fighters? Do you want to see the Mad Monsters? Do you want to see the Teen Titans? Do you want to see these figures, these characters, these iconic toy lines resurrected for your enjoyment, for your collection? Would they sell? Would these figures sell in 2025? I personally believe that these figures would sell in 2025. I believe that. I strongly believe that we need only to look as far as the latest Marvel reincarnation of these classic figures. People couldn't get these figures. They couldn't, they were trying to get these figures. People were using, and still are, using the great Disney shoppers from Orlando and California to help them get these figures. People want these figures. People want these characters. I want these characters. So I do believe that the Fist Fighters, the Mad Monster series, the Teen Titans, those three lines would sell like hotcakes. I think they would sell out immediately. I don't think Mego could keep those figures in stock if you brought these back. I don't think you put out a Fist Fighter Superman figure. I don't think you could keep this figure in stock. He'd be sold out immediately. Kid Flash, Mego Kid Flash, new version or same classic version by Mego would sell out immediately. Couldn't keep this in stock. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong in the comment sections, guys. I don't think I'm wrong. Mad Monster series. I believe if Mego brought the Mad Monster series back, reincarnated them, resurrected them, I believe they would sell out like hotcakes. I don't think they would stay in stock. They'd be sold out immediately. Pre-orders would be sold out immediately. Food for thought, guys. Something to think about here on a Sunday, guys, as I got the coffee on for you. The discussions are endless. The possibilities are endless. Now that we have Marvel back in the Mego fold, what else would you like to see Mego produce from the past? And that's another thing. What else would you like? I gave you three. We talked about a few more, but I gave you three. Teen Titans, the Fist Fighters, and the Mad Monster series. What else would you like to see Mego resurrect from the past so that you can add to your collection? Because like I said, a lot of us didn't have these figures. I gave three: Mad Monster series, Fist Fighters, and the Teen Titans. Three series of characters and superheroes and toy lines I didn't have from Mego. I didn't own any of them as a kid. I simply did not have them. So you're asking somebody in me that never owned them, that when FTC brought them out, I bought them and purchased them immediately without hesitation. Imagine if Mego did it. Imagine if Mego announced that they would be coming out with the Mad Monster series, the Fist Fighters, and the Teen Titans. Those three alone. Imagine if Mego announced that, made that announcement. I think everybody would be excited about that announcement. I think, like I said, once again, and a lot of these lines, I think, are really doable as far as from a licensing standpoint, because I think, you know, Mego has the DC licensing rights, to the best of my knowledge. I don't know all of the red tape involved and, you know, how that works. But I do know that, you know, we've had a lot of DC figures from from Mego, which tells me that it's possible they can do it. But if it's not possible, let us know what you think about that. Would you be excited about this if they announced that they're going to do the Mad Monster series again? They're going to resurrect the Fist Fighters and the Teen Titans and other lines that you had as a kid or you didn't have as a kid. We want to hear all of that in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. Let us know what you think. Like I said, once again, just wanted to give you guys some food for thought. I'm going to go grab some more coffee. I'm going to clean up down here. You can't see it, but I'm surrounded by action figures now, trying to do this video for you guys. But I thought it'd be a fun video, something that we can talk about and discuss in the comment section. Let's get the comments started. Let's get the conversation started, the possibilities started. Let's go, guys. You know the routine. God bless. Stay safe. And by all means, keep collecting.